Okay, so number 3 here, we're going to do this method again, and so I know that it's going to be yn is equal to yn minus 1 plus h, which is 0.025, times the derivative, which is the slope, 2, and it's going to be x n sub 1 squared plus 1 over x n sub n minus 1 times e to the exponent yn minus 1. So here is the formula that I have to make sure that I write as part of my solution. And making my table, I'm going to go 0, my n value, and my x and my y. And so when n is 0, I know that I get x is 1 and y is 0. That is my initial value. So now when I go to my first one of my table, I know it's going to be y sub 1 is going to equal to y sub 0 plus 0.025, which is the h value of the step, times the 2x sub 0 squared plus 1 over x sub 0 times e to the y sub 0. And so now if I replace these values, y sub 0 and y sub 0 is just 0. So that's 0 and 0. Actually, let me do it a different color so you can see it. I even do this one. This is 0, so let me do it in green so you can see where I'm coming from. This 0 is this 0 and is also this value here. And then I also know that this x sub 1 or x sub 0 is going to be this one here. And so I know that this is going to be 1 squared. So if I do it by hand, I go y1 is equal to 0, 0.025 times, well, 1 squared is 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3, over, oh, I missed one of my x sub 0, so this one here also is 1. So then it's going to be 1 times 1 is 1, and so I know y sub 1 should be 3.025 is my value. So when I go to 1.025, because this is the increase of my x, my y value, so my x n is equal to x n minus 1 plus 0.025. And this value here should be 3.025. And so for my test, and I forgot to say this on the other video, you should also write the x value that you're putting in as well. So you should have your x and your y that you are progressing through. And so I know when I do this table, the second one will be 1.05. The next one will be 1.075, and the fourth one will be 1.1, which is the one I'm looking for. So to do this with my calculator, because it's the same process over and over again, I'm going to go to y equals, my minimum is 0. Each time on my x, I will add the step of 0 to 5. And my first x value is 1, which is the 1 here. So this is 1. Enter that. And then I'm going to get y sub n minus 1, which is here, plus, let me delete all this stuff here. So then I have 0.025 is my step, times 2, open parenthesis with a bracket 2, times x n minus 1 squared plus 1, close parenthesis divided by open parenthesis. Again, it's going to be x value, n minus 1, times e to the y value of n minus 1. Get off that, I can close it and hit enter, and my first y value is 0. When I go to my table, let's see my table set, I'm going to start at 0 and go by ones, and let's see what we have. So here we have x is 0. Oh, I must have done a calculation error incorrectly somewhere. Did I forget the +1? So this value should be the same as this one. Let me check what I have. Squared plus 1 divided by u n minus 1, which is the 1, times e to the, I know that is 0. Oh, this is correct. It's down here. This value is incorrect. Let me actually multiply 3 times. I added 3 times 0.025, and you can see 0.075, which is what my table is saying for me. And so I'm looking for 1.1, and so my value for this will be 0.27352, 0.075, and so on and so forth. And so this is the estimate when x equals 1.1.